Hey guys, what's going on? Coach Ant Haynes here from the Process Programming. We are back to talk about butterfly pull-ups and the inclusion of butterfly chest to bar pull-ups. Now, as we always speak about before each of these videos, you should have some form of prerequisite understanding and strength levels before you start attempting something like the butterfly pull-up or butterfly chest to bar. Generally, the butterfly movement is a more complex movement, which obviously will require a little bit more strength, a little bit more general pulling capacity, and also obvious structural strength of the shoulder to allow us to move through more extreme ranges of motion under a bit more of a dynamic movement, really. So with this, I would say that you should be able to complete a minimum of 5 to 10 strict pull-ups, pronated. You should have a solid understanding of a kipping toes to bar. You should be able to do at least 8 to 10 unbroken chest to bar kipping pull-ups. That is not the butterfly. You do need a solid understanding of how the general gymnastic kip works before we even move into the butterfly pull-up. Now remember, with the butterfly, although the movement may look slightly different, the foundational information is still there in terms of your shoulders always create the position on the bar, your legs create a bit of speed, and your hips will add some power to the movement. Generally, the butterfly pull-up versus the kipping pull-up, why? Generally, it's a little bit faster in terms of your cycle speed of the repetitions. It's definitely more metabolically taxing, so your heart rate and your breathing rate, respiratory rate will jack up a little bit faster. But also, it's just like we said, for the sport of CrossFit and fitness, it is definitely a faster way and more efficient way to bash out your reps. So when we're starting with the butterfly, the first thing we need to do is, of course, go through the general beat swing. It should be the staple of any warm-up that you do when you jump up to a pull-up bar. And we're looking at, again, control through the shoulders, staying nice and hollow. The hollow and the hollow arch positions are going to be your foundational positions when it comes to the butterfly pull-up, just like it is when you do the regular kipping gymnastic pull-up. The next movement, if you've never done the butterfly before, it's really important that you understand the positions and how the body moves through the kip versus your kipping pull-up. So in the butterfly, we're looking at a much more circular style kip versus the regular gymnastic kip where we're moving back and forth the whole time. So if you're watching the video, I've got a box set up where I can put probably my stronger leg onto the box to give me a bit of support. The arms will hang dead in the pull-up position, and all we're looking to do is drive back and forth through the hollow. We push back into the hollow, we pull up so the support leg straightens out, and we pull through into the hollow arch, and we just repeat. And we're thinking about doing this in slow motion, literally at 50% pace, just so we can understand what really needs to be happening with that foot on the box and understand the butterfly movement. You'll notice that my left foot in the video spends a lot more time in front of the pull-up bar than it does behind. A massive error that we generally see with the butterfly is that people end up dragging their feet back as fast as possible, because that's what it really looks like. People think about cycling on a bike or whatever the cues might be, but they pull their heels back too early. I want you to really think about keeping the foot in front of the bar in that hollow position as long as possible, because you spend more time in the hollow during the butterfly pull-up. The next movement we're going to look at the butterfly movement without any sort of assistance of the box or bands or anything. So what we're looking here is to be popping back and forth a couple times in the beat swing, and then as you push back to the hollow, the arms pull up, and rather than stopping like you normally would in gymnastic pull up and pushing back, we're going to continue to fall forward and through, push back, fall forward and through. And as you fall forward and bring yourself forward through the bar, you're coming into that hollow arch position exactly like you would in the gymnastic kipping pull up. So it's important to be slightly relaxed whilst you're doing this, but also maintain enough tension that we don't start dropping out of the shoulder. You'll notice it's nice and smooth. My eyes are staying forward, the toes are staying pretty much together, legs are staying nice and long. Again, shoulders create the position, legs will add speed if the shoulder's in the correct position, and then hips can add power later on down the line. Once you understand that, this general stage that you're at now, where we're doing this small butterfly movement, will take up a lot of your learning process. If you don't have control in a really small range, don't even attempt to go chin over the bar or chest to bar butterfly pull-ups. Maximize your control in the small range and slowly build out your range bigger and bigger and bigger as you get better at it. There's no point in just going hit or miss. Sometimes you're good at it, sometimes you're poor at it. Small to start, nail it for anywhere between 50 to 100 reps, increase the range. 50 to 100 reps, increase the range. And keep doing that until your chin passes over that bar, then you got your butterfly pull-ups. Next video, jumping up to the bar, we're gonna execute butterfly pull-ups. So you'll see we always jump into the hollow, as always. It should never change. We drive back, and as shoulders come back, the feet are in front, the chin passes the bar and back down. Much like the gymnastic kipping pull-up, your chin just has to pass the horizontal line of the pull-up bar. It doesn't have to get right next to the bar. Otherwise, you're going to be bashing your chin. So make sure you give yourself plenty of space for the body to fall down underneath the bar. Shoulders drive back to the hollow, legs will sweep through. Again, notice how much longer the feet hold in front of the bar versus pulling the heels back. Never think about pulling the heels back. As your body falls through in the hollow arch, naturally the feet will come back anyway. Once you can master that, again, we're talking 50 to 100, 200 reps of a butterfly pull-up before you should even consider looking at your chest to bar pull-up. Much like a gymnastic kip, the butterfly is exactly the same. You just need a slightly more aggressive kip and a slightly stronger pull in order to get the chest to the bar. Now, if you struggle to do a strict chest to bar pull-up, don't suddenly expect that you can bash out 5 to 6 butterfly chest to bar pull-ups. You need to have that prerequisite strength of shoulder extension and the general pulling capacity to be able to sustain higher reps. So you notice when we go into the chest to bar butterfly, it's exactly the same. The only difference is rather than chin passing the horizontal line of the bar, again, my chest is making contact at the top. As much as possible, we want to make it a smooth rep. So we don't want to see hit, drop, drive back, because then you're having to work really hard in a dead hang position to get the body back to the hollow and then coming back up and around. We'd rather it be much more of a cyclical movement where the body's moving at one speed, much like you would row, assault bike, running and burpees. Try and make it as cyclical as possible so it's easier to breathe. I hope this helps with the butterfly, and of course, reach out to us if you have any problems with it.